You ever come home thinking you're finally gonna get a break? Just one small piece of peace, and then realize your whole world's been wiped clean off the map. I mean, I'm talking everything. Not leased, not fenced, not just trespassed, sold. Sold right out from under me while I was half a world away in uniform doing what I figured was the right thing for my country. Imagine that. They sold my land. My family's land. The cabin I built with my own hands, the barn my granddad left me. The fields I used to ride through as a kid, they bulldozed it all and slapped a fresh chain-link fence up, padlocked with some shiny new sign, private property. HOA management. Trespassers will be prosecuted. And I'm standing there, Arizona sun in my face, sand still caked on my boots, duffel slung over my shoulder, just staring at nothing. Like maybe if I squint hard enough, I'll see my porch come back. But no, just dirt. And the wreckage of a life I guess they figured nobody would miss. Thing is, they picked the wrong soldier to mess with. Let me back up a sec. Name's Jack Whitmore. Army Staff Sergeant, Tucson, Arizona, born and raised. My ranch was never anything fancy. Just 50 acres of dust and scrub, a weathered old house, a rusty red barn, a stretch of open sky. Most days it was me, a couple of horses, and a few local kids learning to ride. It was the kind of place where you know every sunrise and the wind always smells a little like mesquite and freedom. Before my third deployment, I locked everything down. Mike Donnelly, neighbor Vietnam vet old friend, watched the place. He fed the horses, kept an eye on the fences, did all the little chores, and never asked for a dime. I trusted Mike with my life, figured nothing could go wrong. But while I was gone, some new HOA board set up shop down the road. These folks, they weren't even in my zip code. But Cheryl Monroe, HOA president, real estate shark with a smile that's pure rattlesnake, decided my ranch was blight on her big cleanup plan. They posted fake notices, said the land was abandoned, poorly maintained, danger to the community. Mike tried to push back filed reports, even got in the faces of their people, but they wouldn't listen. They took pictures, rust on the barn weeds near the gate, made it look like no one cared. Then Cheryl's lawyer, Tom Kellerguy's been disbarred more times than he's changed his hair put together, forged documents saying my land was part of their HOA development plan. Signed my name, filed it at the county. With a wink and a nudge, they bulldozed my place, sold the dirt to some developer, and got to work before the ink was dry. Mike kept receipts, photos, notices, voicemail logs, even screenshots showing my land transferred to some LLC, but nobody'd touch the case. Not unless I was there, not unless I was standing right in front of them. Which, of course, I wasn't. And when I finally got back and saw that padlocked fence and that crooked sign, I knew deep down in that place, you only get after you've been under fire, that this was a war. So I called Mike. He sounded like he'd aged 10 years. Jack, he said they sold it. They bulldozed everything. I tried to stop them, man. They said you were MIA, filed emergency reassignment paperwork, claimed you were dead or never coming back. You know what I mean? I thought I was in some kind of bad dream. My legs felt like cinder blocks, but I told him meet me in an hour. Bring everything. That hour was the longest of my life. When I saw Mike, he handed me a file so thick it looked like war plans. He'd even gotten his hands on a whistleblower video, a construction foreman camera rolling catching Cheryl out on my flattened land, laughing about how once this place is done, nobody's gonna remember who used to live here. He was probably some homeless vet. My jaw about cracked in half. I couldn't sleep that night. I lay on Mike's lumpy old couch. Moose, the world's friendliest mutt, snoring at my feet, staring at the ceiling. I knew I needed a lawyer, my military records, everything I could find to prove who I was. But I also knew I needed proof Cheryl and her crew knew what they did was illegal. That's when Mike's phone buzzed. It was Cheryl filing a restraining order against me, calling me a violent threat, playing up my military service to paint me as unstable. Next thing I know, sheriff's deputies are banging on Mike's door. They want to escort me for questioning, claim there's security cam footage of me threatening to burn the place down while I was still stuck in Kuwait processing out. Down at the station, Detective Benson just looked at me, flipping through his files, trying to read me like a puzzle. "Sometimes tempers get short," he said. "Things get misunderstood." I slapped my re-entry papers on the table, dates, stamps, the whole deal. I wasn't even in the country. His eyebrow arched. He let me go, but I could see it now. I was a problem, not a victim. Back at Mike's, I called in a favor. Daniel Briggs, former Marine jag, tough as boot leather, agreed to see me the next day. The guy looked like he hadn't slept in a decade, but was sharp as a blade. When I told him everything, he grinned. "They're finished," he said. He filed an injunction to freeze construction, started pulling public records, and then we hit gold. Cheryl's old buddy in the clerk's office fast-tracked everything for her notary stamp, sloppy, my name even spelled wrong. While Daniel worked the legal side, I tried to set foot on my own dirt. Security guards, armed, told me I was trespassing. I walked away barely. Mike kept digging. Found the whistleblower foreman Luis Rivera, who agreed to testify. But that's when things got ugly. Mike's trailer torched in the night. Total loss. Whoever did it wanted to scare us off. We went public. I told my story, face to camera, dust-blowing chain-link fence behind me. They thought I was gone, but I'm not. I'm back and I'm fighting. The video blew up. Veterans news sites, people from all over started reaching out. Cheryl tried to play the victim at her own press conference. "This situation is deeply unfortunate," she said. But Daniel dropped a smoking gun and email from Cheryl to the developer, basically saying, "Don't worry, the guy's overseas. He won't be back soon. Get moving." That's when Judge Harmon, our assigned judge, recused herself. New judge Marcus Doyle. Tough, no nonsense, but rumored to be tight with developers. Didn't matter to me. We got our court date. 3 weeks of hell. Every day some new trick. Fake settlement offers, arson, death threats. The developer tried to flatten what was left, my old mesquite grove trees older than me. I raced out, yelling at chainsaws. The sheriff rolled up, but Daniel had already filed a stop order. For the first time, they had to back off. And then right before court, a second whistleblower came forward, a young clerk with evidence of bribes, text messages, emails. The case wasn't just about my land now, it was about fraud, corruption, maybe even jail time. The day of the hearing, the courtroom was packed. Veterans in uniform, news crews, neighbors, even a few folks I'd never seen before. Daniel put it all on the record, my deployment orders. Mike's testimony, the whistleblower video of Cheryl laughing, the emails, the clerk's confession. The judge recessed, reviewed the evidence, and when he came back, he dropped the hammer. Temporary injunction construction stopped, legal possession restored to me pending a final verdict. Cheryl's next move, bankruptcy. Tried to dump the property in federal court, hoping I'd get tired, run out of steam. I doubled down. We made it public, posted everything online. The country took notice. My case started trending. HOAs across the Southwest were named in the widening investigation. Cheryl vanished, missed her next court date, her lawyer crying medical leave. That's when Daniel filed for default judgment. And just when we thought it was done, a new witness stepped up. A developer's assistant, Lindsay Carter, walked in with a black briefcase, hands shaking, voice trembling at first, but getting stronger. She brought emails, audio, a ledger showing thousands in bribes to the county clerk, wire transfers marked facilitation bonus. Even had a journal. Turns out they'd been running this game for years, targeting soldiers, the elderly, anybody they thought couldn't fight back. The judge, you could see his face darken, sent everything to the feds, handed me my deed back, ordered a forensic audit. Mike exhaled so hard I thought he'd pass out. We got the land back. But that night, a new envelope showed up, no return address, drone photo of my ranch, a red X marked over where my cabin used to stand, 6 typed words. This isn't the end. That feeling chill down the back of your neck never quite left. Still, I wasn't backing down. The community showed up, Marines clearing debris, neighbors bringing food, a nonprofit delivering a tiny house. That's how I started over folders and maps on the kitchen counter corkboard, tracking every twist and turn of the case. When Cheryl finally got caught boarding a private plane in Nevada ready to run, she started naming names. The feds tore into HOA scams up and down the region. County clerks, developers, board members, arrests, indictments, the works. I got called to testify in D.C. Senate hearing new bill drafted Deployed Property Protection Act, making it a federal crime to seize a deployed soldier's property without ironclad verified consent. I stood next to the president as he signed it. But when I came home, the ranch was still nothing but dust and stumps. That's when Operation Home Rebuild rolled in, veterans from everywhere, tools in hand, building my home and barn stronger than before. I was awarded $1.7 million in damages. Cheryl and Darrell Green, the developer, sentenced to federal prison, 12 years for Cheryl, 8 for Green. HOA, dissolved, assets seized. Mike got a new trailer. I funded a legal clinic for other vets, helped set up a nonprofit Operation Ground Game to stop property grabs before they start. And on the day I reopened the ranch gate, freshly painted Whitmore Ranch carved into the arch, people came from miles around. Veterans, neighbors, volunteers, news crews. I stood on the porch and told them I didn't fight for revenge. I fought because this happens to too many people who can't fight back. People like Cheryl think they can take from the voiceless, but we stood together and we won. A cheer went up, Moose barked, Mike smiled in the sun. But even then, a black car with tinted windows and fake plates sat across the road, engine idling. It didn't drive in, just watched and left. That night, I sent the security footage to the sheriff. Probably just a scare tactic, he said. Maybe. But I know the war's not over. Not for me. Not for anybody fighting to hang on to what's theirs. Now I spend my days helping others fight back. Operation Ground Game's growing. Letters pour in, thank yous from folks I'll never meet. Some scared, some angry, but all standing taller. Every time I get one, I remember never mess with a soldier. You think we're alone, but we're not. So if you've ever been through hell just to hang on to what's yours, if you know what it's like to get knocked down and stand back up, let me know where you're from. Drop your city or state below, and if you'd fight back like Jack, comment still standing. Let's make damn sure nobody ever comes home to an empty field again.